Hey guys, in this video I want to talk to you about why are not more people starting businesses and why are people afraid to start businesses. So what I've noticed is that people like to help. People like to offer solutions. They like to come up with ideas. So that's definitely not the problem. They always speak up when someone can do something better. Oh, you can do that and you can do that, huh? Oh, I've got an idea. Why don't you do this and that? And so it's not that. It's not the fact that people don't have ideas. They're everywhere, right? They have ideas, they can help. Now, the problem is that most people don't like to build businesses because they don't like to talk to customers. They don't like to sell. They don't like to be rejected. So these are the most reasons why people don't build businesses, because they are afraid of these things. It's interesting. Like, you have so many ideas, but you don't want to build a business because you're afraid to make that effort into convincing someone to get it. I think that that's it. Do you guys think that there's a different reason? Okay, putting money aside, let's say that you've got money, okay? Let's say that there's a way for you to build a business without needing so much money. I think that it lies in here, in the fact that you need to convince others. Many people hate the fact that they have to convince others to build, to get their product, to buy their product, to buy their service. So I think that's why most people don't build businesses, because they just have to put themselves in front of the customers. If it's not true for you, Nathan, if it's not true for you, then great, because that's one of the main things, if not the only thing, that a person is missing in order to start a business. To just want to go in front of somebody and tell them and talk to them, right? That's the first thing that you're going to have to do, to talk to people. Now, of course, that's not enough, because you have to, when you talk to them, let's say that you decided, you know what, I'm okay talking to them. I'm okay to just talking to them, because most people are okay talking. They like talking, as long as talking doesn't go into making them feel like stupid, or making them feel like scammers, or making them feel like salesy, right? So as long as you transform that talk into understanding, you're just there to understand pains. So if you try to exercise that, and you try to understand the pains, and you know what? You can try this home. You can try in your family. You can try with your friends. You can try going on a meetup. You can try anywhere, in any context. Step number one would be try to understand the pains of people and talk to them about it. Step by step, you're going to be more and more comfortable talking to them. You're going to be more and more comfortable to ask questions, and you're going to see, and you're going to embed in your mind that that is the first thing that you have to do. Now, the more you understand their pains, the more you're going to be building a rapport. Now, that means that they're starting to like you. People like talking about themselves. People like complaining. People like to feel like someone's listening to them. So you're building rapport. You know, step by step, it's starting not to feel that bad, right? They're starting to like you. You feel good, right? The more you talk about them, the more they open up and they're starting to like you, the better you feel about the idea of talking to people. Now, then, what's the next step? Next, you're just trying to articulate their pain, and in trying to build a solution. That means that you just coming up with some ideas. Oh, what about this? Did you try that? Did you try this? How did you do it until now? And just talk to people, right? And come up with maybe some ideas, with some solutions that you show them, and then continue the conversation, right? Continue the conversation. Just continue on it, and then you just polish on it, and then you come up with more ideas around. Oh, so you did that. So what about this? Have you tried that? So it starts to build more rapport. It starts to understand. You're starting to understand more the pain. You're starting to understand more the solution. And this is just a cycle that goes on and on. Now, when you start a business, obviously you want to do this with just one target. What target audience? I said that, yeah, try with your friends, try with your family, just to get into the habit of talking to people and understanding pains. Now, when you're actually getting more serious about, oh, so yeah, okay, I can do that. How can you do it? Well, you can talk to people more. You can talk to your audience. You can define your audience. Let's say they're mothers of kids, because you have a business around whatever, daycares, let's say, or something like that. Or you have an app for identifying daycares on demand and availability. Like right now, I want to see today, I got to put my kids somewhere, right? So you have to talk to people and understand that audience. And then you start talking to people. You go into Facebook groups, wherever you go, just talk to them. And you understand their pain. And you ask questions and you try to build a solution. It's not that bad, isn't it? Now, in time, as you build this solution, as you build this, you really realize that you're helping. You're not selling anything, you're just helping. That gets more and more in your head. And as you help, then you're going to continue to build some kind of an actual product, an actual solution, whatever, something small, like a Facebook group where people can connect, or you build a website where people can where you just list people that want to find out daily availability of daycares, and on a separate list you put all the availability of daycares in your area, right? And people just can see and just interact somehow, right? So just prove and validate that people are getting value through your solution. So this is what you do. Step by step, you provide value. Just add value. When you add value, it doesn't become salesy, right? Plus, you become more confident. You're going to find more people that need it, right? Now, once you started doing that, you reach a point when you realize that your business, in the stage that it is right now, it adds value. You have validated because you've already helped a few, because they have told you so. So now you have built that kind of confidence in yourself. You build that confidence in yourself. At the point after you've started adding value to people, you're starting to get testimonials. Now that is going to give you another boost of confidence. Like, yeah, you're adding value. People like it. Once you have testimonials, everybody knows that if they want something of value, they have to pay for it. There's absolutely no problem in that. Nobody expects to get value for free. Now, this is where, until now, we have built the basics that you realize that there's something for you to add value. You have talked to customers, you started talking to them, and you like it because it's identifying and getting value for them, and identifying pains, and it's human to do that, right? And now you're starting to build a confidence because you've built testimonials. Now, basically, you are starting to sell. So how are you actually going to sell? Well, it's pretty simple. You don't have to go to people and convince them. So you don't have to convince. Here, you don't have to convince. You don't have to go to them and beg them, oh, buy my product, this is the best product. No. What you have to do is you have to make them, you have to present your product. And you have to identify, or give them a chance to identify themselves as needing your product. which means that you can create, for example, a video on your landing page. You create a free training where you explain about, the space and about the pains and the problems, and you help them identify themselves. That yes, I am the person that needs your product. I am the person that needs your service. At that point, once they have identified, once they have said basically, I need you, I need your product, then the only thing that you have to do is, gather a little bit more information about them, like, okay, what exactly do you need? Put a form, a contact form, make them just post something on your website on when they contact you, on when you talk to them or whatever, and then contact them and just talk to them about the specifics. Just talk to them about the specific. Talk about the pain that they're having, and then because you have presented already in a video or something, or on your website, you have presented, the problem that you're solving, and they know that it's a business, they expect to pay for it. At that point, the only thing that you have to do is just to present your offer. That's it. You're just gonna have to tell them, okay, this is so you told me that you have this pain, you've seen our website, you've seen our testimonial, you've seen how we can solve it. This is the offer that we have, right? This is the pricing, this is everything, right? It's right there for you, right? They know that as a business that needs to run, you have costs, right? Now, the only thing that you have to make sure is that the offer has a really good match between the value that you're offering and the pricing or the cost. You have to find that match. You got to make sure. You cannot ask for a daycare $1,000 a day for someone, right? You just have to make sure that it does make sense, and that's it. And now this is the kicker. Find a differentiator. Something that makes you different. Tell a story. Relate to them. Talk to them more. Find out their story. Now, these are things that most people don't do in business. And you know why they don't do it? Exactly for the reason that we talked in the beginning. Because they're thinking that, well, they're going to see me as salesy. No, you're identifying pains. You're building rapport. There's no problem over there. So find that differentiator. I hope that with this video, you're going to be more inclined to just go ahead and build a business. Don't be afraid. Start with listening to pains, and then in your family, right, and your friends, and then find a niche, something that is related to with the passion about, and go of yours, and then go there and listen to their pains, and then together with them brainstorm something like a solution and show it to them. Don't talk about money. It's gonna come. Don't worry about it. A point is gonna come. People always expect to pay for value, right? And then build upon that, right? And then try to add value. Whether it's a service, whether it's a product that you're building, start adding value, something very small. I have a lot of videos that you can see on my website, on GoStartup.io, on my Facebook account, on my LinkedIn account. Is everywhere. You can see my free training on GoStartup.io. Just go ahead and listen to pains, understand customers, and you're going to see that it's way easier than you're thinking, and it's pleasant. People need help, and people love helping others. So don't be afraid. Just start with something. And it's unbelievable to know that you don't require almost any cost for you to start basically a business from this perspective. You don't have to build apps, and you don't have to buy trucks and whatever. There's always a small thing how you can build value, starting with just listening to the pains of people and getting confirmation. So go ahead, do that, and follow my videos, get into it, put your foot in the water, and just, I'm going to see you around. Aristotel Dascal here from GoStartup.io. Watch my free video if you didn't on GoStartup.io, and see you tomorrow maybe. Bye-bye.